Hey everybody, it's Barbara. Welcome to Pick a Stack Wednesday. Another crazy week has gone by, but you're still here. Good for you. Are you maintaining? I just have to say this. If there's times when you just feel like, oh my God, I can't take this, I have to cry, then cry. If you feel like you need to sleep for 10 hours, then sleep for 10 hours. Whatever you have to do to make yourself feel better, in these times, the energies are like this. And there's times when, like the other night, I just cried uncontrollably. And I knew it wasn't mine. But I had to get it out because I feel other people's emotions and physical pain. I don't need that inside me. And our job is not to hold it, okay? Our job is not to be a martyr. Let it go. So whether that means crying or sleeping or going to the gym for 3 hours and working out, if that's what makes you happy. I went for a really long walk on Sunday with little Angus. That felt good. But just whatever those things are that are healthy, that make you feel better. Sitting out with a tree in nature. That's another good thing. Not binge eating, not drugs and alcohol. That's not what I'm talking about. But the things that are natural, that make you feel better, that help you get through all this, that's what you need to be doing. Okay? And yes, I've been sleeping a lot more lately. Oh my gosh, it's hard for me to go to sleep, but then once I do go to sleep, I'm usually out, and then it's hard for me to wake up. But I can fall asleep at the drop of a hat in the middle of the afternoon. I don't know why that is. Who knows? But do whatever you got to do to help yourself feel better. Because like I said, these times are crazy. The energies, up and down, all around. And then if you're any kind of an empath, and that means, emotional or physical, I'm both, I can feel other people's physical pain and I can feel other people's emotions. Recognize that they're not yours and get rid of them. Cut the cords if you need to. Sometimes cutting cords doesn't help. For example, I have a soul sister that lives in the same town as me. I feel everything that she feels, and I'll just message her and I'll say, hey, I hope you appreciate the fact that I took your lower back pain because I have it. And she's like, yeah, thanks. And then it's my job to get rid of it. Okay, welcome to Pick a Stack. If you're new here, this is what we've got. We've got 3 stacks. Today they're 3 decks. And each deck has a crystal with it. So you're going to get a reading from the cards and the crystal. So your job is to think of an idea, issue, or question pertaining to yourself, your loved ones, your community, or the world, or whatever, and then intuitively choose a stack, 1, 2, or 3. Hopefully the reading resonates with you. And I highly encourage you to listen to the whole reading, because you never know, there might be something towards the end that you'd miss otherwise. And I look at the analytics on these, and like the average viewing length is 6 minutes, and I'm like, okay, well, you stayed in for 6 minutes. Good for you. All right. I have to say this first. I have a broken tooth back here. So periodically, it's still hanging on. Periodically, it kind of gets in my way when I'm talking. So I don't apologize because it is what it is, but it does make it a little more difficult to talk. Are you ready? Man, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, by the way, I feel like my 5-year-old self dressed me today because I have all the colors on. All the colors, whether it's crystals or my skirt has all the colors, my jacket has all the colors. And when my son was here, one day he was getting dressed for school, and I said, that's what you're wearing to school. Because nothing matched. And it was all these different patterns and colors. And he goes, Mom, I like all the colors. Lesson learned, Alex. Yeah, I like all the colors too. And it's just our societal pressure that makes us have our top match our bottom. Pfft. Who cares? As long as I'm not naked, we're good. All right, if you chose stack number 1, you are going to get a reading from the Archangel Power Tarot cards. That's Doreen Virtue. And first, we're going to talk about your stone. Tiger's Eye. You have a tiger's eye heart. Oh, don't focus on my face. Focus on the stone. Tiger's Eye. So, all 3 of the stacks today have heart-shaped stones. You think my guides are trying to tell us something? We need to live from the heart. We need to have compassion and forgiveness and love and live from the heart. Stop living from the ego and that analytical left brain that says, let's analyze everything. Let's try to make sense out of everything. Let's follow the rules. Yeah, we don't really care about that. Follow the rules. So the tiger's eye is a stone of protection. It is also sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra. Well, I mean, really it's root chakra too, because it is grounding. It's good for willpower, integrity, and the correct use of power. So, the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is the kind of stone, this is the stone that carries the kind of frequency that helps you make good decisions with that power. Okay? One of the things you can do is rub a little drop of essential oil on this and then place it on your solar plexus to detoxify yourself. And a really good detoxifier is thyme. Thyme. Thyme, the plant, the essential oil, the herb. That is a good purifier, anti-parasitic, antifungal essential oil. So put a drop of that on this tiger's eye, put it on your solar plexus, or put it right back here. Right back here we have literally the cross at the upper back, the very upper back, below the neck. That's another really good spot because there's a lot of, it's a nerve cluster. So that's a good spot too. So another thing with the tiger's eye is because it's grounding, it can help you slow down. So with all the stuff that's going on right now, if you need to just go, okay, I gotta breathe, I gotta find my center, I gotta balance. This is a really good stone for that. Finding your center, finding your balance, grounding. Have this, hold it, go sit by a tree, go stand in the grass or the sand. Roman soldiers used to wear tiger's eye in battle. Protection and grounding. Helps you make good decisions. Yeah. It's a really good stone, not one that big, a smaller one, but it's a really good stone for your pet. So you can get one of those little spiral cages and put it on their collar. When I worked with the service dogs for the veterans, that was one of the things that a lot of the dogs, that I would put on a lot of the dogs. Okay. They said 3, so we're going to get 3. All right. First card out was the Leap of Faith. Major Arcana. This is card number 0. This is the first card of the Major Arcana. This is the Leap of Faith. This is the first step on a new path. You've cleared out the old to make room for the new. So here it comes. But we have to take that first step. So whatever you were thinking about, they're saying take that first step. So if it means starting a business, that means you need to, come up with your mission statement, the name of your business, maybe start making it be an LLC or an S Corp or whatever it is you got to do legally. Start researching some things. Organize a room in your home where you're going to store stuff or where you're going to work, whatever this means. But it means get on it. New things are coming, but you have to take that leap of faith. Now, if it has to do with a relationship, then that's a little bit different. You're not gonna, I hope you're not going to just make a new room in your house. That's jumping in a little too fast. But this is saying if you meet somebody new and they ask you out, use your discernment, of course. But this is take that leap of faith and say yes. A first date, a safe first date. Can't go wrong with that. You might even have some fun. So that's your first card. Your second card that came out is the 3 of Gabriel. The 3 of Gabriel. It's time to take the next step. Wow. Taking the first step and here's the next step. I feel like this is basically saying, don't be afraid to take a step or a next step. It's also like a card of optimism. So if you take this first step, this second step or next step, it's going to have a good turnout, a good, not expectation. It's going to have a good result. There we go. Come on, guides, give me the words. It's also got a ship on it. And what I keep hearing in my head is your ships come in, your ships come in. So maybe we need to take this leap of faith so that our ship can come in. I like that. Take the leap of faith so that our ship can come in. So then your third card that popped out is the 8 of Raphael. Raphael is the healer. Very earthy card. And if you chose stack number 1, you've got the leap of faith, you've got good results, and now you've got the 8 of Raphael, and the 8 is the card of prosperity and abundance. And it says something good is waiting for you. Now, I don't know. She's down here and he's back here. She has to take that leap of faith and cross that little bridge. She's got her dog with her. She's going to cross that little bridge over the water, or she's going to wait for him to come to her, because the reason I say that is because there's a chest full of gold right here where she is. So maybe she's like, hey, you got to come to me because my chest of gold is over here and I can't carry it across that river. So maybe the leap of faith that she has to take isn't crossing the bridge. Maybe it's saying, hey, hi, come here, come to me, come over to me. Can you help me? Can you help me with something? I got this really heavy chest. It's full of gold pieces. I can't move it myself. And we have to not be afraid to ask for help. And I know a lot of us have a hard time with that. I do too. The other day I had to ask a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, if he would use his strength to get my frickin' garden hose off the spigot, because I had tightened it so tight last spring that I couldn't get it off. And he's like, why are you asking me like it's hard? And I said, it is hard for me because it's just a garden hose on a spigot. But for me, it was a test. Are you going to ask for help? Are you just going to swallow your pride and just ask for help? This is not a big deal. This is my guides. This is not a big deal. And here's me. But it is a big deal. I don't like asking for help. These cards are saying it's okay to ask for help if you need to move that piece of furniture, if you need to get your garden hose off the spigot. It's okay to say, can you come to me? Because I can't cross the bridge. Sometimes taking that leap of faith is something that we have to do from our heart and our head, not physically moving. But this stack number 1, remember, we've got the tiger's eye, protection, grounding, balance. And this is all about taking that leap of faith. Good things are going to happen as soon as you take that leap. Okay? Whatever that means to you. Relationship, job, home, anything else. Good things are going to come to you. Your ship is coming in. You get this treasure chest full of gold coins. And then here's her and here's him. It's the coming together of something. This is a really good reading, you guys. If you chose stack number 1, good things are going to come to you. Take that first step, okay? Take that leap of faith. Oof. Nice. Kind of want to claim that for myself. I am using the Lemurian Saint Germain Crystal Singing Bell to raise the frequency here and cleanse the air. Because it's glorious. If you come to me for an energy healing, I not only have that, I have other crystal singing bowls, but I also have the giant Tibetan brass bowl that you stand in. Let me tell you, that is a wonderful experience. Standing in a singing bowl. Oh. La. All right, stack number 2. If you chose stack number 2, you are going to get a reading from the Dragon Tarot. And your stone, which is also heart-shaped, is this fabulous polychrome jasper from Madagascar. Isn't it lovely? I love polychrome jasper. I've never been a jasper person until recently. I know in another video I said I love the ocean jasper. Well, I love the polychrome jasper too, because the colors, they're very earthy colors. So the ocean jasper has the blues and the greens and it's very watery. And this one's very earthy. It has, yes, it has the gray, but it also has browns and golds and rusts and reds and sometimes green. And it's just, it's like those jaspers, even though they're both jaspers, they're opposite. One's water and one's earth. So this stone is also about balance and grounding, but it's the stone of the here and now. So if you have a hard time being in the here and now, this is the kind of stone that you want to meditate with or carry or hold in your hand just because it feels good. You know, and this shape, to me, the heart shape, fits right in your palm. It helps with change. Actually, all 3 of these today help with change because they're very grounding. We need to just be here, be now. Don't worry about what's going to happen, you know, in a week and a half. It's not a week and a half, 2 weeks. Time is going by so fast. Sometimes the days are really long and then the week is really short. So these stones are grounding, and they help us with change, with accepting the change, with dealing with the change, whatever the change is. This can also help with if you're working with beings from the other side. Your loved ones, your ancestors, your spirit guides. So you can use this stone for that as well. It's another good protection stone. You might want to have one in your car, or on your bicycle, or on your motorcycle, or whatever it is that, however you travel, or maybe in your backpack if you walk. This stone, actually, all three of these stones, interesting. They're all good for the organs down here. Digestion, liver, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas. And they're all for the lower chakras. They're all heart-shaped. My guides are saying, live in the heart. And they're all down here. We got to be grounded. We got to be balanced. We have to be healthy. I go every 3 weeks and get acupuncture, and I have her focus on these organs because I was having problems with them. And, you know, it's in the water, it's in the food, it's in the air, whatever it is they're doing to us, and it affects all those organs. So anything you can do to help those organs be happy and healthy, it's a good thing. Okay, so we're not doing reversals. This was the first one. This is the second one. Ooh, okay. Again, stack number 2, like stack number 1, is very positive. So we've got our polychrome jasper from Madagascar. We've got card number 21 from the Major Arcana, which is the universe, and it's represented as this universe in a dragon's eye. In stack number 1, we had card number 0 in the Major Arcana, which is take the leap of faith, start something new. It's the very first card. This is the very last card in the Major Arcana. So this is saying there's a completion. So if you chose stack number 2, there's a completion in your life that's either going on right now or that's coming up. It's also the universe letting us know, first of all, this is a reminder. We are all very, very powerful. And the universe wants to work with us. The universe is telling us, hey, you're unlimited. Stop limiting yourself. And that's what we as humans tend to do. We limit ourselves. Nobody else is limiting us. That's just an excuse. We limit ourselves because we don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like, well, we feel like we're a victim. We don't feel like we chose to be here. Whatever the excuses are, remember, you have no limits. Whatever it is you feel like you want to do, what's stopping you besides you? Nothing. It's those things outside of you that you think are stopping you, that you're using as excuses not to do what you're supposed to do. And yes, I hear this for myself. The second card is the 6 of Cups. So we've got all these cups coming in, and I'm going to do these 2 cards together because then we have the 8 of Cups. This is 14 cups, you guys. Cups are abundance, and we don't just have 6, we don't just have 8, we have 14 cups. And, you know, these dragons are dancing around and they're like, yeah, we got all these cups and they're full, and what are we going to do with them? They're divine. They're coming from the universe. There's an ending here, but there's also this, okay, here's all these cups. Now what do you want to do? And you need to take some time, take a moment, whatever that means to you, sit back and go, I have all these cups. What do I want to do? If it's money that's limiting you, here's your money. Take it. Plan it out. You know, what my guides just showed me is somebody winning the lottery. Now, that can be physically or metaphysically, right? Metaphorically. So many times somebody wins a whole bunch of money, or they receive a blessing of an inheritance. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this, and I'm going to go on these vacations, and I'm going to buy all this stuff. And, next thing you know, there's a Maserati sitting in the driveway, or a new Corvette or whatever. And yep, they pay off their bills, and they get all this stuff, and they go on these vacations. And then it's like, okay, now what? We need to have a plan. And also, it needs to be for the highest and greatest good of all. Now, I'm not saying that if you win the lottery, you need to share it with your family, okay? Don't do that. Unless you really get along with your family. Because, oh my gosh, weddings, funerals, and lotteries bring out the worst in people. What are you going to do to leave a legacy? What can you do if you have all those cups? What can you leave as a legacy that says, hey, I remember that person. Look what they did. They built a new wing onto the library. Or whatever the thing is. They drove to North Carolina with a bunch of four-wheelers to donate. Donating time. It's like your ship has come in. In stack number 1, we talked about our ship coming in. Stack number 2, your ship's coming in. But what's your legacy? Yes, pay your bills. Take care of yourself. Maybe get some acupuncture or a massage or a healing. Take care of this. Eat healthy. Yeah, go on a vacation. I guess what I'm trying to say is your ship's coming in. Don't be stupid about what the result is for that. And I know that there's going to be people out there that go, oh, what? Don't be. I'm just saying that we need to have a plan. So, like, I have a plan for when my ship comes in. I already know what I'm going to be doing. I have actually several plans because I feel the need to help lots of people. You want to help somebody? Help me help lots of people. But just know that the universe is bringing you a divine inheritance. Now, that doesn't mean from a family member necessarily. It just means it's divine. It's from out there somewhere. They're hooking you up. But be smart about it, okay? So many people blow their winnings and then they have nothing. And then they have to sell the stuff that they bought. Please don't be like that. Be smart. Be smart. Maybe set some of those cups aside. Set some cups aside for later. Take a certain amount and say, yep, I'm going to take this money and do this with it, but I've got this back here. Just to be on the safe side. But also think about your legacy. Interesting. Stack number 2. Congratulations on your ships coming in. And notice I said ships. I noticed that. All right. That was stack number 2. Do a little crystal singing bell. This is my cup today. If you chose stack number 3, you are going to get a reading from Beyond Lemuria. I know Joy is watching, and this is her favorite deck. It is one of my favorite decks as well. I love, love, love the Lemurians. If you ever want to feel loved, just call the Lemurians in, and they are right there for you. Look at the way the light is coming through the window and all the rays. That was not there when I sat down. Thank you, Grandfather Sun. You're amazing. Pretty soon we're going to have to do that fall back on time thing. Ugh. I like it that it's light early in the morning, but then when it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Ugh. All right, Lemurians, what you got for us? I just feel one card from you guys. This one? Is that? Yeah, I didn't think that was one. I'm taking the top one, though. Ooh. Where's the book? Okay, so before we start with the cards, let's talk about your stone, your heart-shaped stone. Oh, focus. It doesn't want to focus on the stone. Can you see that? No? Oh, come on. Don't focus on my hand. That's about as good as I can get. This is a chocolate calcite. I love, love, love chocolate calcite. It's grounding. It's chocolatey. I may be a chocoholic. I do not consider it a weakness. I think it's a superpower. It's a type of aragonite. So it has beautiful lines in it. Again, just like the other two stones in today's pick a stack, grounding, lower chakras, balance. It's really good when you're either for an altar or you're meditating for abundance and prosperity. So stack number 2, you get your ship coming in, you get your abundance and prosperity. This is a really good stone for that as well. Good for opportunities, a sense of emotional stability. Right now, we all need that. So any of these stones, okay, would be good for that. And I feel like our guides are going, just maintain. You got this. We got this. All you got to do is just be throughout this tumultuous time, okay? Don't overreact to the stuff going on out there. You don't even have to participate in it. We don't. I don't. Right now I'm focusing on, me, my dogs, my shop, Halloween, stuff like that. So out in my shop yard, I have skeletons. I try to have a different theme every year, and there's a bunch of skeletons sitting on chairs out in the yard, and they have leashes with dogs. And one of the dogs is on the post for my big sign, and then there's a skeleton hanging from the top like he's trying to get away from the dog. And, it just makes me laugh. It's actually supposed to be the Amazon driver because he hates my dogs. But I didn't want to put an Amazon vest on him or anything like that because I didn't want to pick on him. But it is kind of funny. My dogs are like the sweetest things ever. He's scared to death of them. Okay, anyway. You get card number 56 from Izzy Ivy from Beyond Lemuria. Vulnerability. Now, interestingly, it's not just card 56, which 5 plus 6 is 11, master number. It's also the very last card in the book. So there's a finality about this, just like in stack number 2, where we had the World card, which is the last card in the Major Arcana. This is the last card in this deck. So there's definitely an air of completion. There's also an air of new beginnings from stack number 1. Well, what happens when we have a completion? We have a new beginning, right? We don't just finish and then nothing. We usually finish and then start something new. Well, there's an air of completion here. That means new things are coming. When we are truly honest with ourselves in all our facets, we are vulnerable. That honesty is an important step in discovering our shadows and bringing them into the light for healing. Furthermore, when we share our vulnerabilities with others, we allow them to glimpse a deeper part of ourselves. This is fertile soil for trust. It plants the seeds for others to share the places that are most raw or tender for them. Our closest friendships can be formed in this space. You know, I don't know how long ago it was, 5 years ago. My guides told me that I needed to share my vulnerabilities with people and in videos. Like, stop holding it all in. And I've done some pretty raw videos emotionally, you know. And if I have to cry, I don't hold it in anymore. I'm going to cry. Because what happens is if one person watches the video and they see that I'm allowing myself to be emotional, they're like, oh, I can allow myself to be emotional too. It's okay. And it is okay. We're wearing human suits. Our job is not to be martyrs and not to hold all this crap in. Our job is to transmute it and let it go. There's times when we feel too uncomfortable to reach out to others. But those can be the very times when we need them most. Having compassion and awareness of the struggle and disorientation others may be going through is a valuable contribution to the world. Holding space where others can be vulnerable is a key element of healing work. Self-love is also connected to our ability to be vulnerable, as it allows us to be true to ourselves, exactly as we are, without judgment. Exactly as we are, without judgment. We don't need to be judging others, and we definitely don't need to be judging ourselves. Okay? If you feel like crying, cry. If you're in the middle of a store, so what? You're in a human suit. Have some compassion for yourself. If you're in my shop, you need to know that right over there, there's a box of tissues. There's always a box of tissues because people cry in here all the time. And it's good. We release physical toxins and we release emotional toxins. So whatever you need to do to embrace this vulnerability, that's what we need to do. Kind of like today, I have to embrace this 5-year-old version of myself. Well, guess what? A 5-year-old is very vulnerable. So I guess that's what I need to be doing today, is showing my vulnerable self. Not just to you all and to anybody that comes in here today, but to me. And so after this video, I'm going to meditate for a few minutes. I only have a few minutes before I have to open the shop. But I'm going to look at that little 5-year-old and I'm going to give her a hug and I'm going to tell her everything's going to be okay. I always have this one image in my mind. It was the first day of kindergarten. And back in the day, we would get all dressed up. I remember I had my new patent leather shoes on and this pretty little dress, and my mom curled my hair. And I just remember such hope, like a little bit of fear, but hope, you know? And so I think that's part of what this is. That 5-year-old is vulnerable. And you know what? She had a lot of hope for this day, this life. And we can't allow all the crap in our lives and all the people in our lives to squish us down and get rid of that 5-year-old. Because like for me, she's still in here somewhere. In here. And we need to embrace that. That you know what? I've been through a lot. I've started over multiple times. And it's okay to feel vulnerable. And it's okay to start over. And that little girl is not squished and squashed. So, it's okay to show your vulnerability. That was beautiful. I gotta go hug my 5-year-old self. That was stack number 3. I love you guys. You're the reason I do this, and I really enjoy it when somebody messages me or they call me or text me or they come in my shop and they say, I just love that video that you did. You were talking to me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because that means a lot to me. If I can just touch one person, I know I'm a success because you'll go on to touch other people and they'll touch other people. And pretty soon the world is a better place. So go forth and have an amazing day. I love you guys. I send you blessings of love, light, peace, joy, happiness, success, divine health, all good things, and hope. Namaste.